Now, when it comes to Drake, if you're ready to see what happened after Karen was told to take a seat following the exposure of his more than minor issues. Well, Cupcake Kelly is scrambling like a desperate liar, doing everything he can to cover up what may be the beginning of the end for him. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as Drake's fans become increasingly emotional and defensive about this situation. Much like their idol, Mega Karen, they want us to ignore reality and simply let it slide. But let's be clear, we are not doing that. Make sure to leave a like so the entire hip-hop community can see what's really going on. Because here's the truth. This week has been nothing short of disastrous for Karen. And among all the L's he's been taking, nothing has been more damaging than his own label stepping forward, claiming they hold extensive documents and accounts detailing Drake's history with minors, ready to be revealed. Seemingly, Drake Kelly now realizes he's in serious trouble. But instead of addressing the issue with facts head-on, or responding in a genuine, respectable way, what we've seen is Karen, or whatever name we're calling him at this point, trying to act as though everything is perfectly normal. And listen, to all the Drake fans watching, I'm sorry to tell you this. Don't be upset with me, but there's simply no other way to put it. Karen has been doing everything from releasing body pillows with his face on them, to going on subliminal-filled rants about how everyone is against him because of his own choices, to even stranger things like selling bathroom items. Honestly, when we see just how far he's spiraling, Lil Bree has never looked worse. And it's never seemed more obvious that he's hiding something. Because if he weren't, I don't think we'd see Drake moving the way he did yesterday, reaching such strange extremes right after all of this dropped, and the timeline began dragging him for it. His very first post following the backlash was full of subliminal messaging. He claimed he didn't choose the ski mask, even though he looked exactly like this, and then tried to put on a tough, mean persona despite having come from Degrassi. What's particularly interesting in these Karen confessions, and what they reveal about how he's moving, is his continued obsession with his favorite theme, Pinocchio. Now, what he seems to be suggesting is that if Kendrick Lamar is Pinocchio, then the label and the industry are Geppetto. At the same time, he's also casting himself as Geppetto. I won't even try to explain that contradiction, but you get the idea. Meanwhile, right alongside this, UMG came forward stating that they have records of Drake's disturbing history with individuals he should never have been in contact with, ready to be exposed at any moment. And what does Drake do? He doubles down, showing once again that he's watching and studying a movie that highlights exactly why he is more than just a minor issue, if you catch my meaning. Because let's be honest, for a grown man to be this fixated on Pinocchio, immersing himself so deeply in its lore, is just plain strange. There's no other way to put it. Especially now, as these troubling allegations surface and his own label prepares to weaponize them against him, showcasing to everyone that his favorite pastime is obsessing over a film originally designed for children only makes the optics even worse. No matter what Lil Bree intended with this bizarre Kendrick Lamar subliminal diss, the result is clear. It only makes him look far more suspicious and far worse than ever before. And unfortunately for Karen, the spiral didn't stop there. In an attempt to divert attention from the growing controversy surrounding him, he shifted his focus in a surprising way by showing he no longer wants to be seen primarily as a rapper or even part of hip-hop culture. Instead, he seems more interested in being a merchant. Drake's latest move to counter this wave of pressure was opening his so-called warehouse, where he's now offering fans and anyone willing to support Karen some of the most bizarre items imaginable. From Drake-branded scoopers and dog bags to masks, body pillows, and other random merchandise, the collection makes it painfully clear how little he respects his supporters. And let's be honest, if you're still rushing to buy this stuff, there's no other way to put it. You're backing Cupcake Kelly. His loyalists will defend him no matter what, refusing to believe the allegations or any evidence presented against him. What makes it even worse is the price. These items aren't cheap by any means, yet fans are still lining up to purchase them, proudly repping Cupcake Kelly. To me, what this really shows is that Drake is testing the waters, experimenting to see just how far his fanbase will go to support him, what they're willing to wear, and how much they're willing to spend. It's less about music and more about pushing his brand to its limits, measuring the loyalty of his followers in the process. All of this is only going to further alienate Drake and his entire community from the broader music and rap audience, and really, from people in general. Where I see this heading is toward Drake eventually creating a signature piece of merchandise that instantly signals, on sight, that someone is part of one of the most annoying fan groups imaginable. Of course, Drake's most loyal supporters will believe they're standing by the best and proudly defending him. But whatever that symbolic piece of merch turns out to be, I have no doubt it will end up being something bizarre, so strange that we probably can't even predict it yet. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, it's that this situation is only going to get worse for Drake Kelly. And when you look at it closely, the parallels are undeniable. Regardless of what his fans try to argue, Drake has clearly been taking place straight out of someone else's playbook, repeating the same pattern step by step. And now, after Drake pushed his fans to once again prove their loyalty by buying body pillows and other ridiculous items, things continue to get worse. Honestly, the more I think about it, some of these products are almost fitting, especially when tied to the For All the Dogs album. For a record that disappointing, there has never been a more on-brand use than being reduced to gimmicky merch. But unfortunately for Karen, the downward spiral didn't end there. Things actually took an even darker turn. In what has become his most public and straightforward statement so far, Drake managed to confuse everyone even more. This came in the form of a recap video he released from his lackluster For You Karaoke Mega Extravaganza tour, where he posted clips of himself and Yeet running around aimlessly. Alongside it, Drake issued what stands as his boldest statement yet. "Stop acting like Karma don't love me, asking me where to be. I usually just tell her to do what you please. Either that, or I'm due unto them as you done to me." With this, it's clear that the cupcake lover we once knew is spiraling, deeper and faster than ever before. The words Drake is using to respond to the tour backlash and the mounting pressure make absolutely no sense. His captions read like the press conferences of athletes who just suffered the worst loss of their careers, rambling, incoherent, and offering nothing productive or respectable. At this point, I don't even think this is a new low for Karen. It's just more proof that he has no idea what he's saying. Instead, he's throwing out incoherent nonsense in a desperate attempt to grab headlines and distract from what's really happening. The label knows he may have some disturbing cases about to surface. So while he rambles on about Karma loving him or drops random lines about picking up cupcakes, all he's really doing is exposing how little control he has over the narrative. I mean, come on, get out of here with all this For You nonsense, you weirdo. Watching Drake this scattered, to the point where he's just throwing together whatever sloppy message he can to look cool and convince us everything is fine when it's so clearly not, is embarrassing. Think about it. When serious accusations are being leveled against you, and your response is to act like an even bigger, more uncalculated clown than ever before, it doesn't look like confidence. It looks like desperation. We've seen people move desperately for attention before, but Drake is moving stranger and more erratically than ever right now, especially at a moment when the pressure is highest. At the very least, this behavior is deeply worrying. And as we move closer to uncovering the truth about what's really happening in rap and in this situation overall, it seems clear that things are only going to get worse and more complicated for Drake from here. Very soon, and in due time, we may see just how ugly and disturbing Drake truly is, on a scale larger than ever before. If this happens, the entire music world, hip-hop, every rapper, every artist, and anyone who has ever worked with him, will be forced to confront a reality none of us could have imagined, one that many will not be prepared for. So now, with all of this said, let me know, what do you think about Karen's downward spiral? How he's looking like a bigger loser than ever with all these desperate attempts to grab attention? And what does this all really say about him? Do you think it shows he's spiraling badly in the aftermath of everything that's come out? I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this. And if you've made it this far, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And if you want to see how things got even worse for Karen just before this, when even more than minor allegations surfaced and exposed him further, check out the suggested video.